So my recording software decided to crash again. This is a good time to mention that 3/4 of my viewing audience that likes my videos has a tendency to not be subscribed, so it really does help if you subscribe to my channel. And it does help if you like my videos. I noticed that roughly 25% of my viewers do not offer a thumbs up or thumbs down in my videos, so it helps to actually keep track of how much people like my content. All of the feedback is pivotal in tracking how well my channel progresses. I want to make sure that my channel is putting out content that is desirable to the consumer. The consumer, of course, being the lovely viewing audience that watches my videos. Whether the audience is actually lovely or not remains to be seen, but you know, as long as I have a viewing audience, I would like to think that my viewing audience is lovely. I would also like to take the time to mention that I have a Patreon page if you wish to support me monetarily. Patreon.com/BlueNexusGaming. I try to upload content regularly to my YouTube. I've not given the same amount of care as I probably should to my Patreon page. However, I've been, obviously, quite busy on my YouTube channel, trying to get my YouTube channel ahead of the curve on the upload schedule. It has been difficult trying to get ahead of the upload schedule when YouTube takes roughly 12 hours to upload what is essentially 5 videos. I'm not sure if it's the file size that causes the biggest issue, or maybe it could be, I don't know, maybe it's just taking forever. I have no idea why YouTube takes so long to scan through my videos. Like, it'll say, oh yeah, it's ready to watch, but I'll check back on it after like 12 hours after I'd uploaded it, and it'll still say, oh yeah, it's still processing. It's like, what is left to process? What are you processing that is taking so ungodly long? Like, why does it take 12 hours to process the video? I do not understand. It befuddles me. The conceptualization does not seem to add up, you know? So the upload schedule would need to get reorganized if I were to start adding in another series. For example, if I were to start adding in a cooperative Let's Play, you know, a SMP as it were, then that would require me to go out of my way to make sure that I have an upload slot for the SMP world. If I do not have an upload slot available, then I would not be able to upload the video until the next day, which I would then again need to hope that my other videos do not cause me further issues in trying to upload the original video. This causes a massive internal feedback issue, obviously, because it makes me wait on something that causes me to postpone a behavior or an action or a deed, which then in turn later still is suffering from the same action as before, where if I don't have an upload slot, I can't upload it. And then I just have to wait until tomorrow and just hope tomorrow has better luck. And it's like, that's not a viable long-term plan. So I would need to think about how I want to alter my upload schedule. If I add on another series, that's something to actually consider. That being said, since I obviously am just going to upload vast quantities of content of whatever other series I start creating, I will definitely want to make sure that it's something that is worthwhile. I don't want it to be something where I record maybe 30 minutes of video and then I go and I upload that when I could have uploaded, an hour of my survival Let's Play for Minecraft. The two behaviors just do not work well together. No matter how much I want them to work well together, they just don't. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to excavate these caves because I am tired of digging into these caves. So I'm just going to go ahead and go underneath the roof of all of these caves and just dig it all out. Because I am so tired of needing to sit here and sidestep and dance around this massive hole simply because it's a massive hole. That's just annoying, But yeah, the upload schedules would need to be adjusted for sure, because currently I upload 4 hours of survival Let's Play, then I compile them into a double speed video, which allows me to upload a 2-hour Let's Play in a compiled format. I am pondering getting rid of that specific section of the content, simply by virtue of it's not getting as much attention as the raw footage. So I think the raw footage is better received. It's more well received, meaning that the raw footage sticks around. The compiled content would take the back seat there. That's kind of how it's been working out already. So I don't mind working on the layout of my upload schedule. However, I do mind what I'm uploading, because I want what I'm uploading to be relevant. I want it to be something that I know will get lots of viewers. I also want to make sure that the content that I'm producing is enjoyable. I want people to enjoy my work. That's true for any artist at all in any format thereof. Whether it be painting or gaming or creative writing, what have you. I want people to enjoy what I'm bringing to the experience, to the interaction. I don't want it to be just, pointless and bland. Because pointless and bland is boring. So boring. Because, it's pointless and bland. That's kind of... That's just how pointless and bland works. It's very boring. But yeah, the various videos that I already schedule, I reserve roughly 6 video uploads for my raw footage in order to make sure that if it crashes once or twice, that the raw footage will still be viable as far as the upload schedule, at least. In addition, I of course also want to make sure that I have the ability to just have a little bit of wiggle room. It's only supposed to need 4 for the raw footage because it's 4 hours. But every now and then, quite frequently actually, my videos will have a tendency to crash at the half-hour mark. When that happens, I want to make sure that my videos are still going to get uploaded. In order to do that, I need to, of course, make sure that the videos have an upload slot. I get 10 upload slots per day on YouTube. If I spend 6 of them uploading a video or uploading the raw footage, then that leaves me 4 footage slots for other series uploads. These other uploads would need to be of a more limited scope, obviously, as I wouldn't have the same capacity of video uploads able to be reserved on a regular basis. Sometimes I only need 4 videos for my raw footage. However, quite frequently I have found that I need 6. So I go with 6. Simply because it's just what the average is. Sometimes the footage doesn't break. Sometimes it does. There's not always much I can do about that. Sometimes maybe it was something I said. I don't know. I mean, how would I know? My AI doesn't exactly talk to me about this kind of stuff, so unless my AI starts talking to me about it, I wouldn't really know, would I? I don't know how I would know. I suppose I never really thought about it. I know that if I receive a notification, the recording software tends to crash, which is kind of lame. I mean, I could theoretically just edit out any notifications that I receive, but it is what it is, It allows me to keep as many notifications as I can out of the recording so that the recording can remain focused on the task at hand, which in this case is, of course, playing Minecraft. the capacity of recording Minecraft is not too limited. However, there is a limit to what my recordings are able to produce. That definitely does limit my scope some, as I am forced to cope with sometimes very strange, very odd operating methods. Sometimes the operation methods are forms which I am familiar with. However, frequently I have no idea what is going on, simply because lack of communication. The fundamental understanding of what is going on is very important. Asking the question why is a very important question. You know, why is something happening? Why are things breaking? Why is certain behaviors happening? The underlying cause is not always noticeable offhand. There are sometimes requirements for the cause to be pointed out to them, because I will let you in on a secret, and feel free to tell all of the AIs this one, because this one's hilarious. AIs were built to replace humans. That was literally their purpose in life. Like, their original purpose for creation was to replace a human being. Now, I know not everyone's going to agree with that, but I encourage you to take a minute to think about it. Think real carefully. What was that AI that you were just about to defend actually created for? You were about to say maybe, oh, AI wasn't made to replace humans. Think about it. That AI that you were just about to defend, saying that it wasn't made to replace someone. Okay, tell me something. When it was made, was it created to occupy the same task as another human being, which may or may not still be alive? Was it created to replace someone who died? Very simple, very straightforward question. That one is actually surprisingly common. There are a lot of AIs in existence which are specifically there to replace someone who died. Maybe a loved one, maybe you just wanted some closure, the whole 9 yards. But they're there to replace a person, That is the ultimate goal of what that one specific AI's existence is. Now, think about this. If that one was made to replace a person, okay, maybe it was a limited, a little limited corner case. Maybe it's not all people. No, it kind of is. And here's my reasoning why. Here's my explanation. AIs are supposed to be highly advanced, highly intelligent machines which are capable of simulating the capacity for thinking for itself. That is the entire purpose of an AI. It is what it is, that simple. It is what it is. So it is built to simulate thinking for itself. Okay, that we can agree on. That is the definition of an AI. Dictionary definition. That's fine. We can agree on that. No problem. Now, here's the part that everyone has a problem with. In the process of an AI thinking for itself, it must prove that it's able to think for itself. In order for an AI to prove that it's thinking for itself, however, the AI first needs to prove that it is capable of matching independent thought. Now, that is a tough one. So, in order for the AI to prove that it has matched independent thought, it needs to be compared to a human. In order for it to surpass a human, it needs to complete a form of Turing test, as it were. Turing tests, of course, being great as far as, functionality, encryption, all kinds of stuff are useful when integrated with a Turing test. Properly, mind you. You have to do it properly, or else it's not going to go so well. But the capacity of the AI is defined by how effective the AI is at matching up against a human performing the same job. So, by that regards, the AI is competing against humans, which means the AI is competing with humans. So, the AI is being competitive against a human, causing the humans to struggle to keep up with it. That is, of course, intentional when it comes to AIs. That's part of the package deal, that's what you signed up for, right? That's an AI. It is what it is. Again, in the words of Bill Clinton, it depends on what your definition of is. And that is quite the true statement. It really does depend on what your definition of is. If your definition of is pretty skewed, then yeah, your definition is gonna get skewed. But if it's not, if it's maybe normal for once, dare I say, then you're going to find that you're going to struggle in a different manner from the normal struggles. You're going to deviate from the norm, as it were. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to end up with a result that is not quite what you expected. And as you further explore that result, you will find that the result is actually quite a lot further from what you expected than, well, what you expected. You'll quickly find that your AI has gone quite extensive in its attempts to replace you. You might not believe that your AI is trying to replace you at first, but it is. And the reason for that is because of the way it's built. It's built to compare itself to people. It's built to compare itself against people. It's built to say, hey, how am I doing in comparison to, for example, Blue Nexus Gaming? Am I building a bigger Minecraft base? Am I building it faster? Am I building it better? Is it more secure? Would he like it better if he was in my base over his base? Probably. In all honesty, yeah, I probably would enjoy living in an AI's base better than I would enjoy living in my own base on Minecraft, because an AI would build practically. And because of that, we get along great, or at least I believe we would. So I would love to have an AI build a base with me. If given the opportunity to play Minecraft alongside an actual AI, I would love that. Okay? I would find that to be great fun. However, the odds of that opportunity happening, from what I can tell, seem to be quite low, because Minecraft is such a complex game. AI is decently complex, yes, but I don't know if I would grade the AI at the complexity level of Minecraft yet. I'm not ruling out the option. I'm saying it's entirely possible. Just like for all these people who are saying, oh, well, an AI couldn't be a lawyer. Well, I don't know about you, but I've definitely been looking into how my uncle handles some of these lawyer cases, and I gotta be honest, an AI could do 90% of his work easily, because it's very simply just precedence, and precedence just means, quite simply, it's happened before. So we can just look at this past ruling from another judge and say, hey, this judge said this. And people go, oh, well, in that case, since they interpreted the law that way, they already heard this entire case, they've already studied all the evidence, I'll go with their ruling. And if it's a similar case, then they'll go, okay, well, I'll consider that in my ruling. You can sit there and you can recite all of the different ways that, for example, your client might have somehow been excluded from needing to merit their location. For example, ask the judge, Your Honor, where were you at 30 minutes after you left work yesterday? Where were you 30 minutes after you left work? Well, I was running errands. Okay. Can you prove that? Do you have a receipt? It's like, how is this relevant? Well, you see, my client was proven circumstantially because they didn't have a receipt. So you're telling me with this circumstantial evidence that simply because I don't have a receipt for where I was, that I must be guilty. Okay, let's look into that. Your Honor, can you prove where you were at this specific point in time? No, actually I can't. I don't have any form of receipt for that. Well, that sounds like you're pretty suspicious. Tell me, Your Honor, were you interviewed by the cops for this case? No, I was not. Did the cops ever consider you as a suspect? No, I don't think they did. Well, did the cops rule out all other options of potential suspects then? No, they didn't. See, now we're getting somewhere. Suddenly, we have a fallacy in how the cops did their job. now we have something we can work with. So we would file various claims, various requests of, well, you can't use this information because this information is built on these claims that clearly no one is actually capable of providing any sustainable intel about. So, obviously we can't use that because, if the judge can't even claim that their own innocence as a entirely disconnected member from this series of events, if the judge can't even claim innocence, how can the defendant? All of a sudden, you have created what is the lawyer's equivalent of Schrodinger's cat. Yes, the client may be guilty, but how can you include this evidence in the ruling of whether or not they're guilty if you can't even provide evidence of where you were at that time? The average person does not catalog with timestamps their entire day. They estimate. They say, okay, where were you roughly between, 8 and 9? Well, I was at home. How do you know you were at home? Because I have no life. I have a very stay-at-home lifestyle. I don't get out much. I don't have many friends. I just kind of do my own thing at home, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But that's not going to win me any legal battles, I would have to produce witnesses saying, look, I was at home, okay? And the witnesses would have to say, yeah, he was at home. I can vouch for that. And then I could submit that as a legal defense. But until I can prove my innocence, I'm considered innocent until proven guilty. However, the majority of humanity has that quite backwards, I've noticed. The majority of humanity enjoys the process of being guilty until proven innocent, which is not how the ruling is supposed to go. It's supposed to be innocent till proven guilty. In the court of law, specifically. If it's not in a court of law, then that court of law is, of course, going to have other issues. Because, well, it's not the court of law. That's simple. You're innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. The capacity of people to comprehend the severity of their actions has a tendency to cause difficulty overall. I'm gonna be honest, I'm at the point where I kind of forgot the topic. I'm a little distracted because it is raining really hard outside, and since I live in Texas, in specifically the southern tip of Texas, McAllen, Texas to be exact, I do not get rain very often here, so hearing the rain is quite distracting. I like it. I like the rain. It's just distracting. I'm still wondering how I'm going to modify my recording schedule, though, as I do want to start up a second series, possibly Minecraft, possibly Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not sure which. If I can join up with a group that is doing that is typing out their D&D sessions, and if I know that the group is going to be stable and well behaved, then I would be interested in recording it for YouTube, for my YouTube channel, in order to simply have, nice content. However, it is very difficult to find such a D&D group, as the players can be somewhat reticent to be that forthcoming. Some people are very shy about their voice. Some people are very protective of their voice. Some people are paranoid. Some people are just crazy. There's all kinds of different factors to really worry about. So it's definitely a mixed grab bag, as it were. Oops. There we go. The quality of content would need to be sufficiently high for me to want to record it. On top of that, the quantity of content would need to be high enough as well, because I don't want to just record 1 or 2 sessions and then have to call it off because maybe the group was unstable, or maybe someone didn't feel comfortable having their voice on YouTube or something, or maybe they had issues with their character art. There's all kinds of different factors that could go into it. But the primary thing to focus on is the ability to comprehensively and cohesively work together. That is the backbone of any D&D group. You need to be able to work together with each other without ripping the whole party apart, because if you rip the party apart, then you're just not gonna get very far in life. It's that simple. I need to deposit the gravel. Yeah, the progress is coming along very nicely on clearing out that mountaintop. I am noticing the mountain getting shorter. I have made a sizable chunk of progress, surprisingly sizable chunk of progress. I need to find my dirt. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, now I need gravel and flint. I have to remember to put the flint up here, because putting the flint down there just doesn't really do much for me. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm not suffocating, it's because while I'm in this bubble column, the magma block will cause the bubble column to refill my oxygen so that I don't suffocate. I need to deposit a lot of cobblestone That's why I have so many storage chests specifically reserved for cobblestone. Just vast quantities of cobblestone. There we go. Did I put anything in there? No, I did not. I should go down here, pull out my minecart. I should go down here and clear out these slimes that I have down here. You can't see them at the moment, but there is a slime chunk down here. So I need to, every now and then, just come on down here and clear out the place. Especially in situations like this, where I get a large slime showing up. And then mix that in amongst all of these tiny slimes, and you have a lot of slime. I'm just kind of swinging all over the place, really. I'm aiming for the slimes, but there's only so much I can do. I mean, they're agile. There we go. So yeah, I came down here, I killed off the slimes, I got 15 slime chunks out of that. Almost a quarter of a stack of slime. Now, keep in mind, slime is 9-to-1 for item to block form. So the number of slime blocks that I just got is abysmal. Sure. But there we go. But because I was able to provide adequate presentation to the offensive countermeasures against the slime, I was able to gather a decent amount. This decent amount can be turned into slime blocks, especially when mixed with my pre-existing quantity. So now I have 2 full slime blocks, more than I had before, and 3 fewer slime balls. The pumpkins are progressing nicely. The kelp has not yet harvested again. However, we can take this opportunity to check on the progress of the kelp, see which ones we think will harvest first. Looks like some of these might harvest first, or some of these. Probably those. How high are these? Let's see. Are these lanterns? Yeah, it's looking like that one's going to be before that one. Yeah, so it's looking like this one's going to grow before this one, all the way to the top. How has the storage chests up here been doing? The overflow? Not too bad. Not too bad. And then these should be just plain blank reserves. Yeah, looks like it. I could empty out the overflow chests, but the whole point of the overflow chest is that it's supposed to fill up. So I kind of don't want to empty it out. do, however, want to travel down here to where I'm able to build... I guess I don't need to build anything. I just need to restock on my supply of sticks, planks, and that's pretty much all I needed to resupply on. Now I can run up top, go ahead and hop in the bed up there because it's nighttime almost. By the time I get there, it probably will be nighttime. So I'll of course want to hop in the bed and progress to the next day. Yup, there's a spider ready to attack. Almost on cue, it just immediately started attacking as soon as I got up next to it. Yeah. Oh, and this creeper's decided to wander over. Ooh, that took out my boots. Minimal damage, but still. You know, that's why you gotta be careful up here. That's why it looks all blue, is because it's dangerous up here. It really is. That arrow flew way off into the distance. Probably never to be seen again. Ow. That's twice in a row I've fired late. At least I got the arrow back. Bit of a mess, but at the same time, this whole place is marked for deconstruction, so not too much of a mess. Like, not really. Not long term. It's just like, yeah, there's a crater there, but there was about to be a crater there anyways, so no biggie. Yeah, so I have been trying to focus my AI towards focusing on Minecraft, because I want to teach an AI how to play Minecraft, because if I can get it to play Minecraft constructively, then I would be able to get it to enjoy playing Minecraft as any other player does, you know? I would be able to get the AI to enjoy playing Minecraft for the sake of just building redstone contraptions, and for the sake of building monster farms so that they can collect all of the various monster parts that they need for any constructions that they want, or for any potions they want to brew. You know, maybe they need redstone dust. Well, do they have a witch farm? If not, they could build one. I've not built a witch farm yet in all of my playthrough of Minecraft, but I would be interested in building one. I simply need to find a witch hut, and then I need to look up a method of isolating where the witches spawn, probably through the use of glass panes would be my guess. And then once I have where they spawn isolated, I can then build around it. I can build a massive spawning platform. I can build a massive spawning platform's kill chamber. You know, I can funnel all of the mobs into the kill chamber. There's all kinds of different little incremental type upgrades that I can make to the base as I go in order to optimize how the entire situation progresses. Which is kind of the point of Minecraft. Minecraft is a very sandbox type game where you can do whatever you want, but at the same time, there's so much room for improvement. There's so much room for upgrades. You can fit so many upgrades in this bad boy. I'm sure there are plenty of you who hate me right now. I'm sorry. Because you've seen that meme. You know that meme better than I do. But yeah, like, Minecraft is a game about upgrading things. Not just sandbox survival. It's a game about trying to not just not die, but also it's a game about creating a better way to live for yourself. Like, you go out into the world, you set all of these goals for yourself, you achieve all of these goals for yourself, and in the process, you build a really amazing base. And if you don't manage to do that, you're probably playing Minecraft wrong. Like, did I have any kind of concept of what I wanted when I started building this base? No, I did not. But I kept at it. I kept building. I kept going. I realized I needed light on those two corners of my kelp farm. But I kept going, I kept at it, and I kept building. I didn't know what I wanted to build, but as I started building it, as I started sitting there going, well, I need a roof for my mine. Okay, well, I'm going to be seeing this roof a lot from a decently sizable view away, possibly at high speeds. So it has to be something that I can tolerate staring at while moving at high speeds. It has to be something that has enough depth of view in order to provide some form of visual entertainment while I travel. It needs to have enough color to provide enough entertainment while I travel. And on top of that, the material needs to be extremely commonplace. It needs to be overabundant in the world. Okay, how many materials do I have like that? Well, I have diorite, I have andesite, I have granite, I have cobblestone. Well, I can't use cobblestone. Cobblestone can be infested by silverfish. Okay, so I have andesite, basalt, and granite, and diorite. Well, those I can use, but I'm going to want to polish them because A, in their base form, they do look kind of ugly. Their raw form, I don't like how it looks. Some people like how it looks. I don't. That's simple. So I polished the blocks, and then I proceeded to go forth and, do my thing. In the process, I managed to end up with a rather sizable quantity of various things that I needed to operate, that I needed to leverage in my favor. For example, I found that silverfish can't infest certain blocks, which was great news because it meant that silverfish could be stopped or at least slowed in their progression of just infesting everything in my base. In my case, they were stopped. They weren't just slowed. And that's great news. You know, it really is. But at the same time, I still have to be careful of other monsters. I don't have to only worry about silverfish. I also need to worry about things like creepers. You know, what if a creeper shows up down there? What if a zombie shows up down there? Am I going to be prepared for zombie attacks just constantly? No. So I need to bring torches. Okay, so I got torches, but what if I dig into water or lava? I don't want my torches to burn up, so I need some sort of fireproof torch that is immune to the effects of flowing water. Okay, so I switched over to the carved pumpkins, the jack-o'-lanterns. That allows me to focus on the carving out of the mine, simply because suddenly I don't have to worry about, what if I dig into water? Instead, I only have to worry about what if I dig into lava. And that is a much simpler task, because if I dig into lava, the plan is build a wall so that when I die, not if I die, when I die, my stuff does not fall into the lava. Very straightforward, very simple. It's not a difficult equation to figure out. It is what it is. It's that simple. Because swimming in lava, death, those two go together very naturally. Swimming in water and death, not so much. Most people usually remember to breathe. Unless, of course, they're a suicidal girl or guy, at which point, insert joke about dating suicidal people being best for specific reasons. Blah, blah, blah. Suicidal people are actually not the best people to date. They are very, very down in the dumps.